Bing! It's story time. Story time. Let's read it story time. Story time. I'm geeked, it's story time. Story time. You and me is story time. Story time. Let's achieve. Hello and welcome to Story Time with me, Kayla. How is everyone's Wednesday doing? I hope you are having a wonderful time indoors. I hope you're doing cool things. If you're working on anything special, let me know in the comments below. Now, usually in the month of April is the WNBA preseason, and we get to see them do their mini games and their practices. But since COVID is happening, I don't think they're showing them. They're like, it's all postponed. So we can't really see the WNBA, but this is the perfect episode because today we are going to read a book about a girl who plays basketball, a little ladybug, if you will. So today we are going to read a book from the author by the name of Kimberly Smith, who created this book for her daughter Sanaya, who plays basketball, and it's basically a dedication to her. So shout out to you, Sanaya. All right, are we ready to see what book it is? Drum roll. Here we go. LuLu For The Win. Written by Kimberly Smith. Illustrated by Tyrus Goshay. Let's see what this book is all about. Ready, set, let's begin. LuLu For The Win. Written by Kimberly Smith. Illustrated by Tyrus Goshay. Here we go. She signed it. It says, Kayla, thank you for your support. Kimberly Smith. Of course. Thank you. And it's dedicated to her ladybug, Sanaya Renee Smith. Here we go. LuLu the ladybug loved to play basketball. It was her favorite sport. She learned to play when she was only 4 years old. Her room was decorated with basketball posters and stickers. She also had a shelf with all of her medals and trophies. LuLu practiced a lot. She came home from school, ate a snack, did her homework, then grabbed her basketball to practice. The Ladybug Basketball League Championship was coming up, and LuLu wanted to be ready. She practiced and practiced and practiced. Dad helped. It's game day, Coach! LuLu yelled to her dad as she ran down the hallway to the kitchen for breakfast. Mom had her pancakes with extra syrup, crispy bacon, and orange juice ready for her. Dad walked in smiling. You ready? He asked. LuLu put a huge bite of her pancakes in her mouth and nodded. Slow down, LuLu, Mom said. The food isn't going to run away. The three of them laughed. It's time to go, LuLu, Dad said as he packed her sports bag. LuLu drank the last of her orange juice in one big gulp. She gave her mom a kiss. Good luck, Mom said. Thanks. See you at the game, LuLu replied and closed the door. When Dad and LuLu arrived at Busy Bug Park, she looked around to find her team. There they are, Dad. She ran to them. Hey, LuLu said excitedly. Hey, LuLu, the team said. They did their team handshake and quickly began to talk about the game. They were so excited about the game that they didn't notice one of their players was missing. Uh-oh. LuLu, where's Layla? Dad asked. LuLu and the team looked around for Layla. I don't know, Dad. She's not here, LuLu answered. I'll be back, Dad said. The team looked worried, and LuLu knew why. Without Layla, they only had 4 players. They needed 5 players to play. But Lulu wasn't worried at all. When Dad returned, Lulu could tell by his face that Layla wasn't going to be there. "I have good news and bad news," Dad began. "The bad news is Layla can't play today. The good news is the team can still play, if you want to." Lulu turned to her team. "We can do this. Let's play. Blue whales on 3, she said, and put her hand out. Her team looked at each other. "Okay." They all put their hands on hers. "1, 2, 3, blue whales," they shouted. Lulu, her dad, and her team walked over to the court to wait on their turn to play. Lulu checked the game board to see which team they might play in the championship game. The Green Giants beat the Purple Tigers in Game 1. Then the Red Dragons beat the Green Giants in Game 2. Lulu and her team were going to play the Red Dragons. Finally, it was time. As Lulu and her team walked out on the court, she found her mom in the crowd and smiled and gave her dad a thumbs up. The game was hard for the Blue Whales, but they never gave up. Lulu and her team were doing their best, but the Red Dragons were winning. The score was 15-14, and there were only 9 seconds left in the game. Dad called a timeout. "No matter what happens, I'm proud of all of you," Dad said. Yeah. When Lulu got the ball, she ran down the court as fast as she could. With 2 seconds on the clock, she shot the ball and the Blue Whales won the Ladybug Basketball League Championship. The end. Nice. They won the championship. Should we take a look at the Arthur and Illustrator? Come on, let's do it. Let's learn a little bit about the Arthur. Kimberly Smith is a children's book author, poet, and the founder of Peppermint Publishing, LLC. She is married to her wonderful husband, Sherwin Smith Jr., and is the mother of 3 amazing children, Kendall, Sanaya, and Sherwin III. After the publication of her first book of poetry, she has been diligently working on 3 series of books about characters inspired by each of her children. LuLu For The Win is the first book in the Lulu the Ladybug series and is inspired by her daughter Sanaya. Kimberly has an educational background in accounting and business administration and provides bookkeeping services for small businesses and nonprofit organizations in Indianapolis. And here's a little bit about the illustrator. Tyrus Goshay is an award-winning digital illustrator and 3D artist with over 18 years of experience. He serves as a college professor, teaching both game design and illustration in his off time. Tyrus has a bachelor's in computer administration and multimedia and a master's degree in teaching with technology. He has contributed to several award-winning projects in the world of toy design and has been recognized for his achievements in academia as well. He also has tutorials in illustration and digital sculpting available on the web. A special thanks goes to my assistant Sawyer Cloud. I couldn't do the work I do without the team. The end. I loved it! You know what? Something I learned in this book, that if we have dedication and persistence, we will get there. We will accomplish our goals. Well, I thank you all so much for joining me, but it's time for us to say some goodbyes. Are we ready? Goodbye, 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 my friends. Goodbye to you. I hope to see you again real soon. Be proud of all your work tonight. Now climb into bed and sleep real tight. On a count of 3, let's say goodnight. 1, 2, 3. Good night.